Today, in WoW Season Discovery, launched Phase 8, which is net new content for WoW Classic, which is super exciting. So, in traditional WoW, you have raids like AQ, and BWL, and Molten Core, and ZG, and Nax, but they've added a couple new dungeons, but this is a new raid dungeon, okay. New raid and a new zone. So this is brand new content. So let's zoom in here a little bit. And let's go over this. I'm not going to go over this line by line, but I'm more interested in the class balance changes. And if you want to read it line by line, I'm sure we'll spend enough time in each section where you can read it. But overall, we're going to give this a look-see, and we're going to see what we think about it. So, first thing, players who have completed the Phase 7 Eastern Plaguelands Quest Scarlet activities. I'm pretty sure that is the prereq for the key for Skullamonts to open the door. Pretty sure I have that done on my characters. New area, New Avalon, which is the starting zone of the Death Knights in Wrath of the Lich King and in Modern WoW. So go behind enemy lines in disguise as you infiltrate the town of New Avalon with the Scarlet Enclave prior to the events that transpire within the raid. Okay, so we have a story. To navigate New Avalon, all armor crafting professions will have access to 8 new recipes of their respective armor types. So we need a set of gear to disguise ourselves. Most of the new recipes drop from Crusaders' local area, while a few... Okay, so we'll just get them while questing, hopefully. Items, they can be created, bought, sold, and traded. Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. Once you access and complete gather intelligence from Scarlet Crusade, so we just follow the quest line. Can be used alongside 4 of these craft items to blend in with the townsfolk of New Avalon. Okay. So it's kind of like a Twilight thing. While disguised, most of its residents are friendly to you. Okay, so we disguise ourselves. We get new quests and new recipes, which is the bigger bags and the feasts. Okay. So, number 1 priority. Make this gear. Make the gear. It's always gear. Always loot. Always. Every time. Then we go to... Oh, let me make sure that updated. Yep, there we're good. Then we go to, okay, Quartermaster will offer a weekly quest. Cool. Craft or donate equipment exchange. We'll see if that's worth it. These boxes contain tarnished reels. Sick. And a variety of useful equipment. For crafting materials, they contain Jostle Chalice. Okay, so they are going to be worth it because that's a new crafting thing. Okay, so essentially, a lot of new crafting stuff, new quests. Man, a lot of this seems to be oriented around crafting, which makes sense. It's classic, right? Okay, new raid, starting on Thursday, which we will be raiding and streaming on Thursday. We'll be raiding with our buds and our guild. So, entrance is Scarlet Base Camp, west of Tyr's Hand. There's no tomb and a prerequisite. W, has 8 bosses and designed for 20 players. Oh, that's so nice. So, here's why this is nice. In SoD, raids are either for... like, they are made for 20 players. But if you bring 40, it's still scaled appropriately for, like, 20 good players. So, if you bring 40 people, you can go in there and fucking smack. Just destroy everything. Just done, right? We did that in the first couple of weeks at Nax. We brought like 30 to 40 people and we just slapped everything. Scarlet Enclave Raid has a single difficulty mode and is tuned to be significantly challenged for organized groups and next level gear. Cool. As for the first all-new raid in the original WoW setting, we felt it was... This is a dev note, so this is directly from the developers. Felt it was appropriate for Scarlet Enclave to present a challenge for those who have progressed significantly in the previous raid tiers. This is a slight departure from the previous approach to raid content, but we hope for this content to have a satisfying progression arc for most raid groups. We will watch progress closely, and we will make adjustments as needed if there are any significant outliers in terms of difficulty. We have built in a mechanism to allow us to reduce difficulty progressively, similar to the toggleable raid buffs present in Icecrown Citadel and Wrath of the Lich King. Don't know what that is, didn't play Wrath. We have no plan to turn this on right now, but okay, so they have a oh shit button. That's cool. New legendary quest line, we'll be able to get the Ashbringer for warriors, hunters, and paladins. W. War-torn Undermine supply crate has been adjusted. That's okay. Several of the less desirable. So this is the crate that you would use to get scraps and get like max level crafting items, right? This also gives you items to turn in for your tier gear. So several of the less desirable materials that could come from these crates have been removed from the loot table, and a few more desirable items have replaced them. That's cool. So we get more useful shit instead of a brand new box. That way people can still buy them and get tier 3, but get more useful shit instead of the old shit. I wonder if there's any new stuff. Like Scarlet stuff in them. Who knows? Picks Zizix? Yeah. And Booty Bay now sells the quest items required to start the epic quest weapons from Black W. Oh, Black W Lair? Yeah. Blackwing Lair for the That's awesome. I'm gonna get my... do I need the Shaman Shield? Maybe. I probably do. Maximum cap for reels is up to 250. Goated. Karazhan Crypts no longer requires attunement. That's cool. Karazhan Curios will still require attunement. Okay. So, might as well just do it. Number of tarnished reels that drop within Karazhan Crypts and Demonfall Canyon have been increased. So now we have a reason to do DFC if you want to get reels. How are we talking every boss drops 3 reels, or we'll have to test that out. Cost of AQ and Nax gear roughly by 50%. Huge. So AQ and Nax tier gear, you have to like pump mats from the raids and from other sources into actually buying your tier gear. You can't. It's not just the token. So this is awesome because it makes those sets a lot cheaper, which means it's going to be better for the economy, for the auction house. That's a goated change. Cost of next tier rings, which was one of the most expensive pieces at 10 arcane crystals, has been reduced to 3 arcane crystals was 10. That's awesome. Arcane crystals were going for like 50 to 80 gold each, depending on the time of the week. So that's great. That's super cool. That saves a lot of people a lot of money. World buffs can no longer be brought into battlegrounds. World buff consumables can no longer be useful inside battlegrounds. Why is that a new change? That should have been changed a long time ago if that was happening. I don't PvP in SoD, so I don't know. New graveyard has been added to New Avalon and Eastern Plaguelands. Any players that die in Tyr's Hand or New Avalon should reselect there and be able to utilize the Drained of Blood debuff from the Blood Moon Blackrock Eruptions events to quickly recover their corpse. What the fuck? I don't even know what that is. I guess we'll find out. Mysterious new secrets have been added to the game. Happy hunting. Okay. Blade of Inquisition, that's an existing item. Okay, we're just gonna stick an item change in there. The activities of the crafted helms from Novergon cannot be used by characters above level 15. Okay, so there's obviously some sort of glitch there. Okay, here we go. Class tuning. So, going into Phase 8, we want to make some changes to damage numbers coming out of Nax, refine and align the durability profile of tanks. Cool. Create more room for healers to coexist. I'm getting nerfed. My mage is 100%. So here's the thing with mage healing. Mage healing was so drastically overtuned. Being able to heal for your almost your entire grade group, 20 people, and just like that, just everyone full health all the time. There would be fights where me and the other arcane mages would be at like 6k, and all the other healers would be at like 300. It's crazy. You'll notice a lot of changes are to previous tiers, set bonuses. Okay. We wouldn't normally touch these bonuses. They're gonna, yeah, 100%. Some tier 3, a lot of heavy lifting for some classes, like mage. For the correct adjustments to make sure. Yeah, okay. Druid. Rick's playstyle has been good in Nax, but we want to open up more opportunities for failed druids to press meaningful finishers. That's cool. Alright. King and General Rune now allows players to retain their Tiger's Fury buff when shifting into caster form. So you can actually shift weave? I can't remember what it's called. But you can shift in and out. Okay. Soul of Frenetic? Yeah. Charge to 5%, increased shred damage was 15, little nerf. Changed to 10% damage was 4. Wait, what? Oh, that's a... Wait. Didn't you say you wanted a buff? We want to open up more... Oh, they nerfed. So instead of just pressing builders, you're actually incentivized to press the finishers. Then just buff the finishers. Alright. It's like, these changes, I'd always rather a buff to one instead of a nerf to the other, right? But, yeah, I like to be OP. Hunters. Changes to tier 3 are to approve. Okay, so we're changing tier 3 set bonuses. Okay, range tier 3 4-piece bonus change to also reduce the cooldown of multi-shot by 3 Oh. So we're buffing? Felt like it created more of a fluid rotation without using lock and load, and we wanted to continue to offer... Oh, so they're fixing that, okay. So, they're saying, hey, this feels bad to press, let's make it feel good to press. Based on your rotation. That's pretty cool. 2-piece and 4-piece bonuses have been swapped. The 2-piece is now the cool... That's... Okay, if the 4-piece was the goated one, I don't know, I don't play a hunter, but that might be good. So the bounty hunter kill shot increased change to 10% was 30, little nerf. Lone wolf changed to 25%, little nerf. Melee specialist runes chance to reset raptor strike changed to little buff. Okay, buff to melee hunter. Raptor strike offhand changed to non-normalized. We can... How does this look? Yeah, we'll zoom in a little bit more. To be non-normalized like the manhand was normalized. Changed to be non-normalized like the manhand, which was normalized. Okay, so a little bit of damage differential, I guess. Pets now benefit from your haste stat, excluding quiver speed. Cool. Biz's 24/7 by 820. That's an insane scope. Now grants your pet 3% hit. That's cool. Okay, here. So hunters, kind of net neutral. Well, actually, nerf to range hunter, buff to... Yeah, buff to melee hunter. Mage. DPS mage tier 3 bonuses are extremely strong. You got that right. But also not the most fun playstyle. You also got that right. Originally, we had planned for the Scarlet Enclave tier to emphasize evocation and relieve some of the weaknesses like cooldown, channel time, pushback, okay? But we decided it's better route to create more interesting rotations and choices around Balefire Bolt and Frozen Orb instead of dumping more power into an ability that you used once before a fight and then hope no one canceled the pull timer. That's funny. DPS tier 3 2-piece evocation bonus changed from to 1% per stack while outside of Nax. Was 5% and still is inside of Nax. Oh, so it's still 5% inside of Nax, but it's 1% outside of Nax. Oh, okay, that's weird. Okay, so that means that outside of Nax I have an 8% damage buff, but inside Nax I still have a 40% damage buff. Interesting. DPS tier 2 piece bonus mentioned above has swapped with the DPS. Wait, what? 2-piece bonus mentioned above has swapped with the tier piece 4-set. Okay, so the 4-set bonus was the evocation cooldown. Oh. So that's really good for me. Okay, so the 2-set bonus before was the damage buff, and then the 4-set was the evocation cooldown by 80%. But since they swapped those, that I really want the evocation cooldown at the 2-piece because I'm a healer. So I could give a shit about the damage buff. But like the evo cooldown is so sick. That's okay, I'm fine with that. Sold the torture changed to 4% per effect. I don't use that. Balefire Bolt, I sometimes use that. Increased by 30% instead of 20. That's cool. Deep Freeze now benefits from stack of Glaciate, but does not consume them. I'm gonna have to see what that means. So the Chiromancer changed to 75%. Okay, so a bit of a buff. Being able to heal the entire array for decent chunks of every cast has proven to be fun, but only for the healing mage. Much like the shift in Nax away from priest shielding, we believe that healing mages are negating too many of the interesting parts of the other healers' moment-to-moment decision making on who or where to heal. Yeah, that's true. We wanted to lower the blanket healing that mages provide, buff their single target healing. I don't like that. And make the frost version of the spec an actual choice between high damage versus high healing and not high damage and high. Okay. That's fair. So, what does this mean? So, healing mages are OP as shit. Let's make them less OP. Fair. Okay. We are making the game less enjoyable for the other healers. I get it. That I feel that in my raids. I feel when I'm on my shaman that when there's a mage in the group and I could be pumping, saving people. That's chain heal, by the way. Like, but I could be chain healing, and all of a sudden I am second on healing, and the first person is an arcane mage who has 2k more healing than me. Right? It's just, it's crazy. With frost healing is because you do high damage, you also do high healing. So, but your healing's not as quick as arcane healing, unless you take barrage, which is fine. So, yeah, I could see where they would change it up. Okay, Soul of the Cryomancer no longer increases the healing done by spell Frostbolt to your temporal beacons. Okay, interesting. Oh, mass regen cooldown changed to 12 seconds was 6. That is a huge nerf. Okay, so here's why this is a huge nerf. Mass regen on 5 people in a party in a raid puts temporal beacon on. Every time I hit someone with a spell, an arcane spell, the person with temporal beacon gets healing. I have my temporal beacons at latter half of 28 seconds-ish, right? Which means with 6, I can put my mass regen on 4 groups, that's 20 people, heal them all at once with arcane damage, and I have a 4-second-ish differential to make sure that the first group is re-upped on mass regen across that rotation. Increasing that cooldown to 12 seconds, it means that I can only cover 2 groups now. But those groups are going to be covered for a longer time, and I'm going to be spending less time going like this, and more time going like this. So, it's going to make it funner, but I'm going to do less healing. Yeah. Okay. Arcane Blast stacks no longer interact with your healing spells. Oh, This means heals do not benefit from or consume. So those aren't going to be consumed by my mass regen. That's actually pretty good. That's a buff, in my opinion. So Arcane Blast, when you shoot out Arcane Blasts with SOD Mage, it the you can stack up to 4 times. It increases the mana and the damage of your Arcane Blast, right? So usually you do 1 or 2, and then you spit out a mass regen, and it boosts the heal of your mass regen. Or you do a Chrono, or you do an Arcane Barrage, which is damage. So that means that I can heal and not have to worry about my stacks falling off, but the next time I Arcane Barrage or Arcane Missile, then I'll be good, because it's that damage then correlates to those spells every single time. That's cool. Okay. Regeneration changed to heal 30% more. Don't use it. I don't think that's enough. I think in order for regeneration to be viable, it needs to be a lot more than that. Mass regen changed to... Definitely not going to use regen anymore. Chrono changed to heal 10% more. Chrono was already a lay on hands. So... Cool. Regen and mass regen now benefit from your spell haste. Oh. I might actually let that go off, because if my healing is boost, if my raw healing is boost, then I might fully channel mass regen now if it's quicker. We'll have to test that out. So the thing with mass regen is that your big healing is your temporal beacon from arcane damage. So usually when you do mass regen, you would mass regen, but you cancel it immediately, right? Because the buff gets implemented immediately. So you just mass regen, and then you immediately move to cancel it, to cast like an Arcane Barrage, because you can get more healing by not casting the full mass regen, because all you want is the buff. Yeah, so that might change. Temporal Beacon's change to heal for 70% of arcane damage was 80. Mine was 88%, so is it going to be 78% now? That's kind of an overall nerf. Temporal Beacon's change to heal yourself, 5% diff. Okay, not bad. Paladins, if we get Paladins, I'll care about this, but real quick. So Ret Pallies have a lot of playstyles that we want to keep intact and is viable. Okay. The only stylistic changes to the 3-piece set in AQ Ruins, which has always been intended as a means to give an off-spec one-handed Ret Pally and a chance to play in the sand a bit. So we're restricting it back to one-handed weapons like the set it's... What? Okay. Soul the Seal Bearer reduces seal damage. Oh, reduces seal damage. Oh, alright. Increases judgment damage. Now reduces judgment damage. Oh, these... Wait, so... Oh. I don't know how pallies work. I want to make one if they get given a horde. Soul the Retributor increases the damage of Crusader Strike by 1/5. Triple. That's got to be a buff, right? Ret tier 2-piece bonus change to be additive was multiply. That's a nerf. Okay. Anytime something is changed from multiplicative to additive, big L. Okay. Soul of the Exile increases exorcism damage by 75%. W. Righteous Vengeance dot change to 30% of the attack's damage was 50. Okay. Improve Sanctuary change to increases damage dealt by 20% of your block value. That's cool. Soul the Templar change to require one-handed weapon was any weapon. That's got to be the tier 3. Okay, so I guess net neutral maybe for pallies. Not a lot of priest changes. 25% increase in Mindflay damage was 50. That's a nerf. Soul Mindbreaker's empowered Mindflay will now tick slightly faster than before to try and avoid players clipping it with spell queuing. Just degen fucking shit right here. Just okay. Vampiric Embrace healing changed to that That makes sense. Improved Empiric increasing healing changed to 1% was 5%. Wild. That's a huge nerf. Okay, Shadow Priest nerfs. Rogues needed more damage. Said no one fucking ever. That's it. That's it. That's the note. That's it. Rogues need more damage. Fuck off. The tank rogues needed a way to stack up, rolling with the punches while not tanking, since it is a decent part of their durability if a tank swap is ever needed. Carnage, 7% buff. Slaughter from Shadows, 70% to backstab and ambush was 60. Oh, okay, 10% buff. Mutilate changed to 95%. Weapon damage was 80. W. Saber slash damage per stack changed to 50%. Okay, that's cool. Instead of a 1/3, it's a 1/2. Okay. Rolling with the punches changed to 5% health per stack was 6. Cool. Main gouge parry buff duration changed to 5 seconds was 10. Oh, little nerf? Maybe? Yeah. Main. I don't know what that's not gouge. Gaish? Gosh? I don't know. Says strike buff damage changed to 20 seconds was 30. Oh, buffed her. Okay, so that's a little nerf. Now causes cast of Sinister Strike to grant. Okay, so reduce time, increase casts. Okay. So kind of neutral for rogue, I guess. Alright. Pets benefiting from haste means that the burst of enhancement shamans went up slightly. Especially two-handed. So we wanted to bring that... We wanted to bring thigh. We wanted to bring thigh down slightly. Alright. Tank shamans' effective health pool between their armor and raw HP is a bit too high. So we're bringing that down slightly. They should have the best in-class health pool at the end of the day if they gear for it. Interesting. Okay. Lava Lash damage is increased from Flame Tongue. Changed to 150. Damage buff. Two-handed mastery changed to 45. Little bit of a nerf. Little bit of nerf to attack power 2. Health from Way of the Earth changed to 25. Ooh, health nerf for tank shamans. Soul the True Alpha health increase changed. Again, another health nerf. Damage nerf from Soul the Alpha. Oh. Threat increase. We get more threat though, because we didn't have enough threat before. No, we had so much threat. It's impossible to pull off of a tank shami. Elemental Shaman Tier 3 2-piece bonus to 40% Flame Shock. Okay. Was 20, so a little bit of a buff. Pets now. Oh, I fucking died. Oh, I got killed. I bet you I got killed by the, I bet you I got killed by the... I sat on the road in Eastern Plague Lands where the fucking guy comes. Yep. Okay, I was wondering what that was doing. Yeah, this one. Okay. Let me just stop. We will come back to that. Warlocks. In the opposite vein of Shaman tanks, Warlock tanks have had too high avoidance. Not true. Too low durability. Not true. And this was felt by most guilds who used a Warlock main tank for something like Maexna during Naxx progression. We shifted tank rogues away from avoidance cap in exchange for allowing them to actually take hits. And for Warlocks, we plan to do the same thing by increasing their health pool in Metamorphosis, which was starting to look like it wouldn't be able to keep up with the health pools of other tanks. True. Warlock tanks need more threat. Period. DPS tier 3 4-piece damage changed to 33%. The DOS damage was 75%. Alright. Big nerf. Pets now benefit from your spell haste and convert it into a lot of spell haste, you know. New effect. Metamorphosis grants 15% increased health. Okay. Dance of the Wicked now converts 70% of your critical strike into dodge. Was 100%. Alright. Nerf. Damage dealt reduction in Metamorphosis changed to 10%. Oh, little damage bufferoo. which will increase threat. Threat increase in Metamorphosis changed to 50% was Warlock tanks are useless. Alright, well, fuck it. I guess if everyone gets nerfed, like, maybe they'll keep threat. I don't know. Shadow Cleave now grants 4 spell power per defense. Oh, a little damage buff. Chaos Bolt changed to deal chaos damage, which is fire, frost, arcane, shadow, nature damage was just fire. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, because chaos damage should be every single... Yeah, that makes sense. Demonic Pact now only counts half of the spell power from Defender's Resolve, so is unchanged and does not benefit from the above buff. Alright, so... iffy. I don't know, dude. This threat... Warlock threat needed to be buffed. Huge. Like, Warlock threat needed big buffing and needed... But they can't keep fucking aggro off of pumpers. Like, if you get a DPS Warlock, if you get a Fire Mage, if you get Frost Mage, like, you can rip off a Warlock no problem. It's so easy. And they can't rip off of other tanks, which is a problem. Yeah, I think they need more threat. Warriors have been relying on using the active of the Tempered Interference Negating Helmet from Novergon to compete. We feel that is clunky and unintuitive to the average player. So we have removed the ability to use the Novergon helmets past level 59 and offset that change for warriors with 10% attack speed for two-handed weapons. That's nutty. Soul the Titan damage increased, change. It seems like everyone's getting some sort of damage nerf. Soul the Battle Forecaster changed to 5% crit damage and damage reduction. When changing stats was 10%, okay. Nerf. Soul the Sanguinous damage changed to 15, was 20, nerf. Frenzied Assault changed to 40 attack speed, was 30, buff. Single-Minded Fury changed to 4% attack speed per stack, was 3, buff. Soul of Aftershock reduces the cooldown of Shockwave by 25%, was 50, nerf. It seems like everyone's kind of net neutral. Mage is just fucking huge. They did so much to mages. Okay. Hey, you know what? Yeah, funny. You know what? At the end of the day, they gave a shit about tuning for SoD. Like, they were like, people are enjoying this game. People care. This is cool. This is cool. Like, that they put time and effort into this. You know, they thought about how can we even out a little bit of damage, and they implemented something. We got retail-like class changes, which is cool. And we got to review them, and we have new content. Overall, I think this is a W. A very clear W would be to give us Horde Paladins and Alliance Shamans, though.